Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a review of France, Paris, our trip last year around November.
Yeah, around November, like
Around
middle of
November.
November, close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
So we're basically reviewing it and rating it as well.
yeah, so let's get into the video. Alright, so basically I have a list of things here. I have a list for this one. So first thing I recommend, change your currency in advance, like in the country that you're in, before going over there.
Yeah, because if you're flying from the States, I'm pretty sure if you go to a bank and say you want to change some currency into euros, they'll be able to do it for you, affordable price. And as well, if you're flying from the UK like us, we can definitely change it as some currency exchanger. There's like currency exchanges, like offices in city center areas. You can find them. It's best to do that. Don't do it at the airport because they will definitely charge you a lot.
Yeah. The second thing I would recommend is staying in the city. Yeah.
Emphasis on staying in the city because let me tell you something. Paris, like Paris city center, like being in the Paris, it's good. It's a good vibe and stuff like that. But the minute you step foot outside of Paris, oof, and it's just hard to get to Paris for some reason. A lot of like train stations to some other cities close at like 8-9 p.m. So if you stay at another city and you get into Paris by train, it closes early. So if you want to stay there for like night to go to the club at night, that's another problem. That's why it's important to stay in the city. As well, if you're coming from the club, let's say 2 a.m., you could just get a taxi to go there and stuff.
I would say purchase Disneyland tickets in advance.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people that go Paris, they want to go to Disneyland. I feel like it's one of the main attractions in Disneyland. I mean, in Paris.
In Paris.
So if you definitely want to try it, I think you should. I give it a 10 out of 10 try.
Yeah.
We went there, we had a great time.
Yeah.
Only thing, I mean, this is Paris in general, but the only thing I can say about Disneyland, on our way back, the lady at the train station when we were trying to get our tickets back to go, because Disneyland is like still in Paris, but it's like at the outskirt of Paris. So it's a nice distance. And the lady sold us a ticket before that expires, and when we asked her for a round trip. So basically, they tried like to scam and make more money off you. You just gotta be careful with that. That's
Yeah.
all.
But it brings me to my next thing on the list. Like, buy one way for the train, then purchase the return after.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing to do.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're coming from like the train station in the Paris city center to go to Disneyland, just buy one way, and then because I think the train station they open like because when we came back, I think they open until 12 a.m. So until 12 a.m. they open, unless you know you're gonna stay there for later than that, which I don't see why. But if you're gonna stay later than 12, then you can try and get the return. But if you're gonna leave before 12 a.m., you can buy the return once you're going back. Because if you buy, most of the time, especially if you're not strong and speaking French, because a lot of places in Paris they don't speak English like that.
Yeah.
So if you're not really someone that can speak French, it's best you just try and be careful. You don't want to be stuck somewhere where you don't speak their language and they don't understand you. That's just a sticky situation. So it's best you just, you know, on your way back you get the return ticket.
Okay. So don't expect to go in the Euro line at the airport. Like when the guy he went in the line to go. You know how France and England was.
Oh
together?
yeah. So you mean like the European Union?
Yeah.
So if you're flying from any Europe country, well, not any Europe country, if you're flying from the UK, don't even try and go in the EU line because it's the European Union. That's the EU line because England is not a part of the UK is not a part of the European Union anymore. So you gotta go in the normal line like everybody else. You're not privileged anymore.
Because then remember the guy, he was going inside the
And
line.
then they had to tell him send him back. That was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. Do not, and I repeat, do not, no matter how sad or whatever the situation is, do not help anyone if they are asking for help. Do not.
As insensitive that may sound, or as messed up that may sound, here's the reason why. A lot of those people in Paris are con artists. They know how to play con games. Like we had a situation where, I think that was our first day in Paris.
Yeah, that was the first
touring around and stuff. This guy walked up to us and he's like, oh, my phone, somebody's phone just died, his battery for his phone just died.
I need to call my
girlfriend. And he need to call his girlfriend, he say, something like that. And he needs to use our phone. Number one, what came to my mind was, okay, we're in the city center. We really need to call this an emergency. There are so many places you can go and charge your phone, or use a landline and pay for it, or pay phone, whatever you call it. Or, you know, buy a new battery or something. Why do you need to use our phone? So it kind of clicked to me. No, this doesn't add up. They're just trying to get to your sympathy, and then when you give them the phone, they run off. You can lose them like Usain Bolt. Real talk. So, as much as you have a nice heart or you're a kind person, when you reach to Paris, you have to activate your secret agent mode. Like how you know the double agents, they don't smile, they don't show no emotions, they just, you have to activate that.
And your bag, like be careful with your bag. Like whenever you're carrying it, especially a backpack, be quick for that.
Yeah, you have to put it in front of you because there's a lot of pocket pickers.
Yeah, a lot.
Pocket pickers.
They just standing there.
And if you have your backpack, right, it's on your back, and let's say you're on the train, you wouldn't even notice or feel when somebody reach in it and steal something. So you have to have that bag in front of you in case somebody try to reach, you can actually see it. That's how serious it is. So you got to be careful with that.
Some restaurants close at 4 p.m. and then they would open up later on in the day.
Yeah, I think what they do is that some of them, they take like a midday break for a few hours, where some will close like 3, 4, then they open back like 7 till midnight or whatever.
So just check the times that they open and close.
Yeah, if you have a restaurant you want to eat specifically, check their schedule before you just go and just start going places and stuff, and then you reach there without even checking and you see it's closed and you're like, oh, you're upset, frustrated. Check the schedule. It'd be great if you plan certain stuff ahead, like the Disneyland. You plan that one ahead because Disneyland be packed.
Yeah,
it'd be packed. So if you think you're gonna reach there and then buy the tickets while you're there, you're gonna pay a lot of money.
It will be a lot.
And you have to do it online. In person, they can't do it for you. So it's best you do that in advance.
Yeah. The last thing I would say, like we went in winter time, I would say. So I would say summertime or.
Yep. Especially if you're already living in Europe, then let's say in our case the UK, the country you're living in already like cold, you don't want to go on vacation and go somewhere else cold again. So it's best not to go in the winter season. It's best to go in the summer. The summer's like proper warm and nice over there and stuff, But another thing to add as well with like Paris, not only that it's best, this is what I was forgetting. Not only that it's best to plan stuff in advance. If you go over there, I don't recommend you get a rental. I honestly don't. Especially if you're coming from the UK, where in the UK we drive on the left side, they drive on the right side. That can be a little bit confusing. Not to mention the traffic that's in Paris.
It's really bad.
And the drivers drive so crazy, bro. I wouldn't recommend it.
They remind me of Haiti.
I wouldn't recommend it. If you go into Paris and you're coming from a country that drives on the left side, I wouldn't recommend it. Even if you're coming from the States, where in the States they're driving on the right side, I still wouldn't recommend it because these drivers, they go crazy when they're driving on that road.
Yeah.
And then again as well, Uber in Paris is so unreliable. If you go in Paris, the app that you need for the taxi, if you're planning on catching taxis around, is Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt.
Bolt is the one. If you download Bolt and you set it up and you add your details and stuff like that, you can catch that. That's more reliable. And it's actually cheap as well. It doesn't cost much. But Uber, you're booking Uber now and it'll be like 45 minutes later, no one has accepted the job. So if it's Uber, just forget about it.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, and then, but besides that though, the trip was great. I recommend as well, if you don't really speak French, try getting a translator app or the Google Translator app where that can help you out, because there's a lot of places you go, they don't even understand a word in English.
Yeah.
If it's not like an office or somewhere where, you know, people work there, you know, that speak English or whatnot, but a lot of places you need to translate, and you know, so I recommend that as well, so you don't get like lost or scam or something like that. Yeah.
So I'll give it an 8, but I'm gonna go again to get a better experience. And it wasn't bad at all. And make sure you have money, cause
yeah,
don't
forget to add that one.
Like,
that's
make
important.
sure you have money.
I mean,
like,
who would want to go on vacation and not carry money? So
I'm
that's
just saying,
obvious.
no, like we were straight, but I'm just saying, just make sure you have money when you go in, because you're gonna want to do things, and we did things.
There's a lot of activities.
We did a lot.
There's a lot of things to do. You'll get tired and all by so much activities.
Yeah, we did.
But you just
so
gotta
much.
be careful how you carry yourself around. Don't be wearing too much like big chains and jewelry, because the people there, they don't even hide it. You walk and they're looking at you in your eyes. The way they look at you, like, bro, this person look like they just want to grab everything that I got on me and stuff. So just gotta be careful and stuff.
You remember that guy who, when I was walking, and he literally stand in front of me while I was walking, like he literally coming in front of me like this, and he was just staring me up and down, and I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, why are you looking at me like this? Like,
and then I had to just look at homeboy like, okay, can we help you? And he's like, he just catches his head. So it's like the people there, they don't hide it, especially in the city center and stuff. Like, they don't hide it. Just gotta be careful with that. And you know, I think that's my insights on all that. But there's some areas you can go with some great food. If there's any of my Haitian people watching, I'll give you 2 restaurants that you can go and eat. There's one called Riz-Jon-Jon. I'll spell it out for you. Well, we'll put it in the description. It's basically R-I-Z, and then the Jon is D-J-O-N. That's a good restaurant to go eat. Some Haitian food if you're Haitian watching. And there's another one called Au Paradis de Tropical. Paradis de Tropical. Yeah. It's basically those 2 Haitian restaurants I recommend 10 out of 10. Yeah.
And I have some other recommendations as
well. We'll put the restaurants in the description, so if you want to just copy and paste, if you can't really remember what I said, but those restaurants, top 10 out of 10. But I'll give Paris, I think 8.5 as well. Definitely will go back, mainly for Disneyland. I just love Disneyland. I even got my little Mickey hoodie and stuff like that. I love Disneyland. Yeah, I love Disneyland. I go there mainly for that, but there's a lot of stuff to do. The Eiffel Tower, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful for real.
Seeing the view.
We could probably go on top of it next time. Like,
it was so cold. We didn't want to go on top of it when we went. Because we went like just when winter started, so it was like windy and cold. It was like, nah. And I think it was raining too.
It was raining at one point.
It was like, nah. But it makes you feel so small. That's how huge it is. And you could be like far from it and you still seeing it. So it's like, it's an incredible sight. It's an incredible sight.
Yeah, so I'll give it the same 8.
8.5 about the highest.
About that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching, guys. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.